Thank you very much, Minister. Your Excellency, my good brother, President Duda, and your distinguished delegation, members of the business community, both from Kenya and Poland, good afternoon. Let me take this opportunity once more on behalf of the people and government of Kenya, again, Mr. President, to welcome you to this business forum. I understand that there was an engagement last year with our two teams from both investors, business people, and the private sector, and they did consummate two MOUs that set up the infrastructure necessary for business to engage in a less bureaucratic environment and to give both Kenyan and Polish business people the opportunity to look at the investment opportunities, investment options that they may want to consider. Looking at Kenya as a very strategic location in our region, as was explained by CS Miano, that we have from Kenya access to the East African Community Market, access to the tripartite market of SADC, EAC, and COMESA, and of course we have access to the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. These are opportunities that are important as we celebrate 60 years of relations between our two countries. His Excellency the President has made this historic visit to Kenya, the first ever by a Polish president. And Mr. President, let me tell you, as Kenyans, we are excited. We don't take it for granted. We believe that this will be yet a turning point in the relations between our two countries, and that this is an opportunity to escalate the relations between our two countries and to give our business people the impetus and momentum for them to build a stronger relationship, unlock the potential that exists in many of our sectors. In the agricultural sector, for example, which is a backbone of our bottom-up economic transformation agenda, we have investment options, we have trade options. Many of the products that we farm in Kenya, from coffee, tea, avocados, and many other nuts and other products, are products that can find market in your country. And let me take this opportunity, Mr. President, to thank Poland for supporting Kenya as we worked on our economic partnership agreement with the European Union. Mr. President, as you are aware, at the close of last year, we became the first country in East and Central Africa to sign the economic partnership agreement between Kenya and 27 EU countries. And that would not have been possible without the support of Poland. And let me take this opportunity on behalf of the government and people of Kenya to thank you, Mr. President, for that much valued support. Your Excellency, in a space where climate change is ravaging the world with all the effects it has, from drought on one end, floods on another end, and everything in between, I am very happy that today we shared in the earlier meeting the opportunities that exist in water harvesting, water storage, and the technologies that the private sector can help in mobilizing for us to unlock the great potential for dam construction, for water storage in Kenya, as we focus in climate resilient farming and agricultural productivity. And I am looking forward to the private sector here exploring those opportunities. My Minister for Water is here. They have already instruments that will enable the private sector to be able to invest in water storage and water harvesting. We now have an instrument called the Water Purchase Agreement that can facilitate the private sector to be able to lock in financial resources to invest in that sector. Your Excellency, you and me are firmly united in the understanding that the fundamental objective of this endeavor is to actualize the promise of stability, security, well-being, and shared prosperity for the people through inclusive economic transformation by creating necessary conditions for wealth creation, for job creation, and also for eradication of poverty and the reduction of inequality, and making sure that we have a target on sustainable goals that we've all set out to achieve. We have to be, as a public sector, intentional and deliberate on making sure that the private sector have the requisite space to operate optimally with less bureaucracy, fewer hurdles and hoops to get across. And we will continue to engage so that in the public sector we can continuously eliminate challenges that the private sector face in their quest to invest, to do business, to trade, and to connect our countries. Your Excellency, I am proud to announce that the partnership between Kenya and Poland fully meets all the requirements for us to take this to the next level. We are quite fortunate in the sense that each of our countries is abundantly endowed with what we need from each other. We have, as you have heard, a robust, highly technical, highly skilled, professional labor force. And I am very happy that we are signing the agreement between our two private sector players on the training and upskilling of our workforce and human capital to be able to meet the highest standards of labor across the world. And I want to confirm that the ministry responsible for TVET, and I see the director here, I am going to expect that the 15 TVETs across Kenya who will benefit from this assignment and training trainers and also training the 10,000 young people in our TVETs, and to equip them with the skills necessary for them not just to work in Kenya, but to be a global workforce that meets every standard that is required globally. Let me also take this opportunity to ask our members of parliament, because we already signed the economic partnership agreement, that as parliament comes into session next week, we expect that parliament will take up their responsibility to ratify the economic partnership agreement so that we can unlock the market that it gives to us in all countries in Europe, including Poland, but also to move us to the next step of trade in services, where we can unlock the potential of trade in labor across Europe using Kenyan expertise. Your Excellency, earlier we witnessed the signing of MOUs, 2 MOUs on agriculture and also on matters of finance. And I know you are aware that we got a facility from your great country of about 10 billion shillings to do matters of milk coolers across Kenya. We already have almost 35% of the coolers in country already installed, serving farmers. We are working on the extra 65% because it is our intention to increase our dairy productivity, especially milk productivity, from 5 billion liters to 10 billion liters in 5 years. I know the question that is exercising in your mind, and that is why we signed the MOU on matters to do with finance and tax, because you are wondering why our tax as a percentage of GDP is 15%, and tax as a percentage of GDP in Poland is upwards of 35%. We have a long way to go, and we will learn how Poland has managed to assemble its resources so that we can borrow less and raise our resources more. These MOUs, Your Excellency, creates an attractive business environment and investment climate, which will elevate our positioning as a country and give both Polish, European, and global investors a sound opportunity to invest in our country. Your Excellency, this dialogue we are having here, in my very honest opinion, is a golden opportunity to shape with you the compelling reasons which make Kenya an irresistible trade and investment destination for Polish business. First of all, our agenda focuses on agriculture, food security, and agriculture is special to us because we get 70% of our raw material from there. It employs a large part of our human capital, and it produces the largest portion of our exports. So we will be looking at Polish investors, looking at this sector as a sector they can look at the value addition chain, the agro-processing chain, and also manufacture of agricultural machinery, implements, and other gadgets. And we will be looking at opportunities of partnership between both Polish and Kenyan investors. Your Excellency, owing to our geostrategic location, it is our expectation also that Polish companies can consider Nairobi and Kenya as their investment hubs for them to look at the Africa continent from Kenya. And we have built all the ecosystems necessary for that to happen, as was explained by CS Miano. Let me conclude, Your Excellency, by saying that Kenya is a global champion of climate action and recently hosted the inaugural Africa Climate Summit, where African leadership spoke to the urgency of undertaking radical changes into how we define and implement development to conform with climate action. And as you have heard, we are 93% green in our grid, and we have major investment opportunities. We have an extra almost 15 gigawatts of geothermal energy that is ready for exploitation, about 60 gigawatts of solar, and we would be happy to work with Polish companies, both to unlock the potential of this green energy resource, but to also green your industries. I think it is time Poland considered some of your heavy industries, relocating them to Kenya and using our renewable energy to get green products. And it will add premium to the products you are producing at the moment. The products you are producing using other sources of energy. If you produce them using green energy, they will have premium pricing. So, Your Excellency, let me again say, today is the beginning of our historic journey between our two countries and members of both the private sector, the business community, the investing community. And it is my hope that we will unlock unprecedented opportunities to achieve both economic transformation in our country, Kenya, and in your great country, Poland. Ladies and gentlemen, around this round table, this square table, I want to say thank you very much and my very best wishes, Mr. President.
Ekscelencjo, wielce szanowny panie prezydencie,